Today we're going to talk about the 5 things we teach our 5 kids about minimalism. If we haven't met yet, my name is Kalen Bruce. I'm the founder of Freedom Sprout, where we talk about raising intentional children through finances, travel, and minimalism. My wife and I have 5 kids, so we're living this stuff out day to day, and we're learning along the way just like you. We publish a new article every Tuesday on Freedom Sprout relating to minimalism, travel, or finances with children, and we publish a new video every Friday, so be sure to subscribe and follow us along the journey. So the average American owns 300,000 things. 1 in 10 Americans have a storage unit on top of that. We have too much stuff. So to help our kids avoid falling into that consumerism trap, I want to talk about 5 things that we teach them about minimalism. Number 1, minimalism isn't about being able to count the number of things you own or living in a tiny house or anything like that. Minimalism is about intentional ownership. Minimalism is a process. It's not something you can ever fully arrive at. It's just a way of living, and it's a way of knowing exactly why you own all of the things you own, exactly why you own each item. Number 2, memories are not trapped inside of things. We often own things like a piece of furniture, maybe an old lamp, something that our grandparents left us, something that someone left us in a will some time ago, and we think about that person whenever we see that object, but that can also lead to clutter whenever you have too much of that stuff. It's okay to have things like that, but we don't want our kids to wrap up the memories into the things. You still have that memory even if you get rid of the thing. The third thing is don't judge other people by their possessions. This is a common trap I see minimalists in general fall into. If you look at the comments on a lot of YouTube videos on minimalism, you see things like, oh, they aren't a minimalist. Like, look at their house, look at how many things they own. Again, it's not about the number of things you own, it's about intentional ownership. And we really have no right to judge anyone else and where they're at in their journey, whether their home is full of clutter and they're the opposite of a minimalist, or whether we're judging them because we say, oh, they only own 5 or 10 things, just judging people in general. Number 4, for our kids, minimalism starts by not owning more. Often for us as adults, it starts by getting rid of things and downsizing and decluttering. But our kids usually aren't there yet unless they're already grown and moved out of the house. But if they're still living at home, they can get this mindset before they leave. It's about not acquiring more and being intentional about everything you own. And then you'll automatically live an intentional life and you'll automatically be a minimalist. And if they start on that right path, it'll be easier to just continue living their life that way and never get caught up into the consumerism clutter trap that so many Americans find themselves in. Number 5, the last point is sales are traps. If you spend $60 on a $100 item because it was on sale, you are not saving $40, you are spending $60. Maybe you've heard this before. Sometimes in the minimalist world, I feel like it's getting beaten to death, but this is an important point for our kids to understand. So this is the consumerism mindset that I talk about in my new book, Intentional Children. There's an entire chapter on advertising and marketing and how it affects kids. And on this final point, I would just add a, 5.5 point, is don't take stuff just because it's free. A lot of people are trying to get rid of stuff and they post it on sites and say, hey, free, come take all of it. We've done that before. We've given away stuff and said, this is free, but you have to take all of it. And it's a way of decluttering our home. But just because you see something for free, if you wouldn't have bought it in the first place, then don't take it. It's not a good deal if it clutters your home. And that's one way for them to avoid a cluttered home for their entire life. So those are the top 5 things that we teach our kids about minimalism. We teach them every day through our words and our actions, every day, all day. These are kind of the 5 main points I want my kids to grasp, and everything else will fall in place. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe. We publish a new video every Friday, so you can stay up to date on that. You can follow us along the journey, finances, minimalism, travel, all that stuff. And let me know in the comments what you teach your kids about minimalism. That's all for today. I'll see you next week.